Hello and a warm welcome back to the WenDirkCast with me, Jimbo. As always, we're going to be discussing Let's Alpha updates, transfers, developments, and so much more that has gone on over the last week or so. One important note before we kick off this episode, none of what we chat about is financial advice. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. Joining me in the studio today from across the world, already experiencing his MFL doomsday, because it is Monday, is Hamez for his second appearance. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You know, I quite like this podcast because it makes me record.
I quite like this podcast. Cheers, mate.
unlike certain ones from Yorkshire that tend to 5 start time, but it's a nice.
Is that where they start?
Time.
I thought they used to start at like 7 o'clock or so.
Well, when I was on it, Root messaged me going, "Do you want to come on it? It has to be at this time. Can't do later." And I went, "That's a 5 o'clock start." And he went, "Yeah, we can't do later today." And then I found out they moved it for Andrew. So, yeah.
No, well, I accommodated you. I pushed an hour back. So yeah, but welcome, Hamez. It's your second appearance. We're going to be talking about what do we learn in season 12 and sort of like what's on the horizon. No, what do we learn about in season 11? Sorry, what do we learn about in season 11, and what's on the horizon for season 12, or what does season 12 look like in MFL for us personally and our agencies, but also more widely speaking, everyone playing the game. Before we get into our weekly updates, big thank you to all of you who tuned into the streams this week. Obviously, we did the Cup finals on Tuesday and then the final match day on Wednesday. Cool. Obviously, we've got the pack drop stream happening on Wednesday, so be there or be not there and don't win anything. For those of you who got your rewards and like, oh, I need BitBoy MFL. Well, here's your chance to try and earn some, or in Hamez's case, try and get some more plays from me. Is essentially what he does from the quizzes. So yeah, right. Weekly updates. We'll also mention before we get into this. Obviously, you listen to this on the Monday. I hope you've all been blessed with retirement symbols. I'm hoping there's a good number of players I'm hoping don't throw it up. But the nice thing is, I'm sharing a birthday with all of the players, which I don't know if anyone else in the community has got the same birthday as me, 16th of February. But I'm sharing my birthday with all 250,000 MFL players. Not many of you can say that, hey. So happy birthday to me for the future. Happy
birthday.
Yeah. So 16th. So technically as yours, you can say it. You could say it because it's actually 16th. But for me, I've got to wait another 4 hours as yet. Yeah. But happy birthday to yourself, Jimbo. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Weekly update, Hamez, which I'm guessing is sort of how's the last week MFL been for you in season 11? Tell us how it all wrapped up for you.
I mean, not too bad. Like pretty calm, to be fair. The team I ran for Bob had won the league with 3 or 4 games to go.
Breezed it.
The Belco were like couldn't reach the top 3 of Snake, Andrew, and Bruce. Like they were way above, so they just settled in 4th, and then everyone else was mid-table. So didn't have much. I had 1 cup final, which I'm looking forward to watching the montage on YouTube because let's just say it was against a certain YouTuber that's trying to get to Diamond by the looks.
But, what was the score in that in the end?
It was 3-2.
3-2. So, yeah.
His 80 rated striker, whatever, is got an assist. My 60 rated got a hat trick. So
you're eagerly anticipating some YouTube content based around the cup final, which hopefully there will be. And it's a bit like when Norwich go beat, or just anyone I support, or whatever, or game you were interested, but particularly Norwich, obviously, when they score a last minute win, and the next day I'm jumping on YouTube trying to find vloggers of the opposition team, trying to find their reactions because it's so funny. It's like it's some of the best content out there is reactions from the opposition when things go your way. It's so brilliant.
Yeah, which I've got quite a good sort of history of like playing content creators and actually winning because.
Are you basically a stream sniper then? You're basically like a stream sniper.
I beat Ryan this year in the cup. and he was he messaged me absolutely fuming about it, saying like, how did I win? I didn't deserve to win. Last season beat Amrezy in the cup. This season beat like Alex in the cup. Always seemed to beat Snake with a weaker team. And then like obviously Laird that we were mentioning earlier, like pretty far in his head with a 12-1 record against him.
You're pretty far in your head being generous. You are well and truly cemented in poor Laird's brain. So if you had to put a number on your final week of season 11 out of 10, what would you say?
Maybe only like a 6, to be fair, because like there was no like there was one cup final and that was it. Everything was kind of, there was no excitement in the last week. It was all done. So it was,
but done for good reasons, not for bad
but
reasons. That's
like
the main thing.
It wasn't like I had 5 cup finals and only won one, but the excitement of having cup final after cup final after cup final. But it was like nice and chill, which is like even playoffs. I had like one or two playoffs that I didn't want to go up, so it was like quite a nice week of just, I don't care what the result is. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I get an extra game, and then I'll deliberately lose. So,
that's not the MF etiquette. That's not. Get my phone out. IMFF.
I'll get my tactics wrong. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When are we going to see points deductions for anti-fair play and all this sort of thing? Will there ever be a points deduction in MFL not for late registrations?
That was the one thing I was I was joking with, like, we'll get to it later with the like Taggart and stuff, but I was like, a little bit of me was hoping that there was a bit of controversy just to see what do MFL do.
Because
that's like, because that, like, it's never happened before, and this is the big boy leagues. Like, this is the players are 4 figures. What do you do if one team deliberately helps another team?
Because I'll say my comment on it later on when we talk about it a bit more. But yeah, that would be really interesting if it was a diamond and the diamond division to have something happen in it. But no, 6 is pretty sound. My one's a weird one, so I'll just get the worst one out of the way first. Wyverns lost in the second round of the playoffs. Like, honestly, just the honkiest playoff ever in my life. Scammed my way to a win in the 3v3. Can't remember who I was playing now, but I think I had like 2 shots on target, 1-2-1. In like the 118th minute or something. I was like, that just honked. I was getting dropped off back from a works meal, and I was like, I left Carrow Road. I was like, oh, a bit of good luck here. Went some club, in Norwich, we'll do well. And I was getting picked up, got dropped back, and I was like, right, on my phone whilst watching it. And even though it was the Wyverns, I was still like tapping through the timeline, because what I do is I tap on the timeline on my phone, quickly go to the bottom and cover up the timeline, look at the stats and go, oh no, when I scroll up, what's the scoreline going to look like? So I then I scroll up the mobile phone, and then I slowly reveal the timeline to myself with my hand. And I just saw this domination of stats against me. And I was like, hang on, I'm 1-0 up. I was like, what's going on here? And then I was like 1-1. And then, but the reason I think I frauded it is because I rotated in it as well. I had no right mid. I think I had my main striker I was rotating. I had my second goalkeeper playing. I had my 83, not my 87, which, is probably a big difference. But I wanted to have him fit for the rest. And I thought that then the next game after 3v3 would be a bit more of a simple one, because I was playing against Finn. He had some fatigue. I had quite nice fatigue. I'd rested players. I was fresh. I think he'd just lost to a 3-5-2B in one of the earlier games. I got smashed. I feel confident. Lost 1-0. I was like, oh my God. I was like, brilliant. So yeah, it's a frustrating one. And now I've got to the point where I'm like, fuck it. Do I just play 4-3-3? I've now come to this point. Do I just play a 4-3-3? So, but in other news, in more positive news, my second team are now going to be an Iron Club for season 12, which is really weird because they're a team that were predicted 6th, I think, maybe 5th in their Stone League. And I literally set and forget the tactics and just play it. And now they're suddenly in Iron. And I'm like, well, that was not expected. So I guess I'll enjoy the increased rewards for season 12. And maybe some of those people who were like, oh, Jimbo, can I have your 80 rated player for Iron? I'm like, hang on. I have an Iron Club now, so I need to, maybe give them some love. But and then hopefully some people have seen. If not, I'll announce the news now. I'm the manager of BFC Barcelona for season 12. Come on. Unfortunately, it won't be in Diamond. It will be in Platinum for season 12. Hopefully, Diamond in season 13. I was gutted Taggart couldn't keep them up. We'll get onto that match later when we've already kind of alluded to it just a second ago. But it's been in the works since about season 10. Maybe even pre-season 10, like end of season 9. Taggart managed them for half a season. Then the next season got them promoted into Diamond. He was like, Jimbo, I want to get them. I want to have them. I want to get them promoted to Diamond. Then I want to have a season in Diamond. Then you can have it after that, wherever they play. And I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that. Wanted to do it for a while. It's kind of it's a big honor, a big privilege. I'm very excited for it. Shitting bricks as well, because I'll be playing with all the nerds and the sweats. Not that I'm not a nerd and a sweat, but I like my bronze league. It ain't quite bronze. I've just got to look at it as if it's bronze. No, I won't. I can't do that. Not at all. But no, I'm very excited, and I'll probably be playing a 4-3-3. So I don't even have to change the wyverns. I can just play with a 4-3-3 in Platinum. This will be fun. This will be sweaty. So I've got this week to sort of sort out the squads, or the squad, should I say, and what some rotation pieces look like. Tag's done a great job with sort of almost like kind of not presetting the squad and carrying over some players. I think one player or maybe two players are coming out of it, and we've got some other ones in the DAO that can come in. But I've been a part of the DAO for about a year and a half now, 2 years, and I want to be more involved in it. And this is a way that I can sort of jump into the deep end with it, and see how it goes. So hopefully we can get them promoted back into Diamond and have at least a season in Diamond. Yeah. So
you'll have to change the stadium name to make it like personalized to you, though. Like where'd you play your home games now? Because you can change that for free. So it'll be like,
well, what is it? What is it right now?
Yeah, but that's not just like, you could have it's like Jimbo's backyard.
Just change it to Jimbo's backyard.
Yeah. Like my Edinburgh Castle, or my Castle team from Aberdeen plays in Kev Hurd's backyard. So
it does look quite nice. So now just seeing look at my club, it says Diamond. Obviously I know that will change in about 24 hours time, but it's quite nice. It's saying Diamond, like snapshot this, and hopefully that will look exactly the same in 6 weeks time, albeit hopefully the worms haven't been relegated into Stone. And obviously we've got the WenDirk team back, which we'll get into a little bit longer, but I'll probably say it's about a 7 for me. Boring 7. I know, I'm sorry. Hamez said a 6. I said a 7.
I said a 6.
Yeah, all this stuff.
As Bruce would say.
Yeah, just so the younger audience like Bruce could get a bit of enjoyment out of us saying 6, 7. So yeah, I'll be rocking 3 clubs next season, which will be interesting. So I'm very much looking forward to the opportunity to managing BFC Barcelona and getting stuck in with it more. And hopefully people like Kev, if he can win his playoff game later. La Fury Espinola playing in with the big boys. But right, let's move on to the dev updates quickly then. So Experimental Engine has been out for a couple of weeks now. Major patch to the Experimental Engine has been deployed this week, addressing many of the situations reported through the feedback center. Have you, Hamez, submitted some feedback through the feedback center? Nope. Shame on you. You can get some more MFL.
Yeah, but I can get like a 1/6 of a common pack.
Oh no, it's not. It's not the size of the MFL that matters. It's how you use it. There, have that.
Yeah,
one.
but I'd have to find 6 game-breaking bugs to get a common pack. I said to Rory, if I've done testing and I found a game-breaking bug that I figured out how to cause, I would be keeping it very much hush-hush. And then first game of the season, winning like 12-0, 12 glitch goals, and be like, oh, I didn't know how this happened.
Well, all I'm going to say, mate, is if at any time in the future reward day you go, oh, I wish I had 100 MFL, I'm just going to go, I told you so. That's a bug. That's a coded in bug.
What are you spending your one on?
Yeah, okay, good one. Funny. Robbed. I've been robbed. We had a little captain's chat between us all, and I think it was either Lucas or Taggart posted the fact that Taggart got like he got his bounty, his MFL for a feedback, and I was like, "Oh, it's a duplicate, Jimbo. I've been working on it." I was like, "Oh, robbed." I spent so long for 5 minutes figuring out if that was a duplicate or not, and it wasn't in my eyes. Tough times never last. Anyway, so the major patch includes several bug fixes related to matches being stopped. It's not good. Or goals being incorrectly awarded when the ball never reached the net. See, if you managed to figure that one out, to duplicate and replicate that, and never like kickoff 1-0. Excuse me, ref. Surely they would replay them. They're just, I don't know, because there have been some last season with goalkeeper errors. They just go right, but something like that. If you could replicate scoring goals but outscoring, surely they don't just allow the result; they replay it anyway.
First game of the season, I've got like a 50 goal difference.
Yeah, yeah. And then you quickly tell Roden and Diamond or someone like that, and they've got they've scored 200 goals in the space of 5 minutes of IRL time.
Or tell everyone. So it's like Diamond like you come on your watch along's first match, and all of a sudden it's like 12 minutes in, 14-14, and you're like, hang on, I've not seen any goals.
Yeah. Be like channel point prediction: over or under 1.5 goals. Oh no, over or under like 10.5. Everyone's like under. Half time 25 all. You're like, well, unlucky guys. The house wins. So we've got a strong focus on offensive activity to improve movement and behaviour of the team in possession. Multiple defensive tweaks, including marking behaviour, offside management when offside trap, and reactions after clearances. A review and adjustment to the 1v1 success rate. And they've said, as we move toward the official engine release next week, only necessary and significant changes will be made. Sorry, I read that as only necessary and insignificant. Only necessary and significant changes will be made. The focus will now shift to smaller adjustments, including a final review of XG formulas before release. Yeah, because XG is all just hokey-pokey formulas that everyone can touch. Player kits. We've started integrating your custom club kits directly onto players during matches. Very exciting. This is in an exploratory phase. Is that something you're nodding your head there? Big fan?
I mean, it'd be quite nice just to see them all running around with like their Australia tops.
When they score and they pop on the screen like goal, Yonkman for his 4th goal in the first half against them by 9. And you need to have them animated. They just start celebrating as well. Yeah, maybe get like a little 90th minute 5-0.
Get the FIFA back, the shush and the cupping the ear.
I think I've got a great idea. Maybe I could can I get 100 MFL for suggesting an idea? Maybe that should be an idea forum or program. I think you have 5 animations of celebrations, and you can preset like 1 or 2 for your player. Maybe 1. You get to pick one of the 5, and they're all like built in, so every player can sort of do that one. I think we have to take with a pinch of salt. It might change their face slightly because it's how AI and stuff works. But then, starts doing the shush or the cup in the ear, or pointing, takes their shot off and just hangs it in front of you. Immediately gets booked by the ref afterwards. Maybe we can see some bookable offences because of taking their shirts.
Or just have my dot run into the crowd.
see him disappear. And then you get a few of the defenders go around to like the dugouts to get sort of like some fluids in, and then like a little chat from the gaffer saying, like, right, we'll keep it compact now. We'll keep it compact. Keep your heads on. We need that realism, that flavour. Infrastructure migration. Continue to optimize our infrastructure. Lovely jubbly. Needs to be confirmed, but it looks like our last changes have greatly improved performance and reduced server costs. Well, hey, quicker, cheaper, bosh. Someone who works at public sector, that is a beautiful phrase. The infrastructure of our development environment has been improved to allow team members to more easily develop new features. Ooh. And then continued work on the new interface is progressing steadily and will become our main focus next week. That's nice to hear. Club delegation continues to be tested and final improvements have been made this week. Stay tuned. And multiple UI bugs have been fixed, mostly regarding the mobile display of the app. So I guess we'll second to last one there, club delegation. There was an announcement earlier on in the week where people may have seen a little bit of a PS from Lucas saying season 12 starts soon. Check the calendar for the full schedule. Did you notice that little comment? But he'd bolded particular letters that would spell out the word staff, and some people had cotton onto it. So I'm going to ask you the question, Hamez. Do you think we see club delegation for season 12? Do you think we see it?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Do you know it too? Do you know it's coming?
No.
Do you want it to come for season 12?
I mean, I don't mind. I've been managing people's clubs for like the last 2 seasons, so they just drop it. They just airdrop it to me, and away I go.
Well, I've got some great news for you, mate. Drum roll, please. Club delegation comes season 12. There you go. Heard it here first, folks. If you're watching dead on when this starts, you may be hearing me saying that before the announcement comes out. Which, don't worry, I've got approval. I've been allowed to say this. It should probably come out. If it's already come out by the time you listen to this, brilliant. You can read all about it yourself. But if not, within the next hour, you'll basically be hearing about it when this is released. I'm not going to go into big details about it unless Hamez has any questions for me.
It'll be quite awkward now if like something goes wrong and it gets delayed. And
yeah, I'll quickly be like, "Oh God, sorry guys, I may have leaked it." But yeah, so club delegation, it'll be called club staff. It's not going to be called club delegation. It'll be called club staff, and I think it's just basically about the details about how it works, because we've seen images of you can have up to sort of like 5 staff. So you can have 5 staff. They each have different sort of like each member can have different permissions. Those permissions grant them particular roles within the club. They have a title. That title is purely aesthetic. You could be, and there is, by the way, criminal. There's no director of Metaverse Football. I'm trying to lobby for it and campaign for it, but I'm not getting anywhere. Just like my bounty reward, I'm getting nowhere. So you could be like, let me see if I can just find a particular title. You could be called the manager, and your role could be to do with social media. Like that's your permission. So they don't really relate at all. It's just like sort of purely aesthetic thing. I think it was in the Ramble, they were asking about what happens if you sign a percentage and then the person like doesn't play MFL again, or something like that. You can, as the owner, revoke their permissions and basically remove them, but the contract for that season you still have to exercise it. You still have to fulfill it. That makes sense. So I could give you 5%, Hamez, to manage my club. If you decide, you're not going to play MFL for the second half of season 12, I'll go, oh, bloody hell, mate, come on. I'll then tell you to bugger off and you can leave my club, but you still get my 5%. So you have to kind of choose wisely, because I think that's probably a concern people will have. Percentages comes out your player pool piece. That's kind of combined. So you can't go over 100%. It's standard. A manager could not delegate to a team like in his league. So, like the Ronan getting his platinum side promoted couldn't then delegate his team out because he's still technically the club owner and he will own 2 clubs. Likewise, if Hamez, you were in Iron, or you didn't have a team in Iron 10, you cannot be on the club staff of 2 teams in Iron 10. So, because obviously it's a big conflict of interest if you could see all the tactics for both teams. That's a bit, it's one of them. But I believe the Yorkshire TNXP boys will be doing a deep dive onto it in their episode this week. So I'm not going to, go into too much detail about it. But, it's coming for this season, which will be really exciting. And I think people are interested in what sort of percentages people will be giving away for such prestigious titles, to which I've seen individuals say he's happy with 50%. I've seen in the Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know what the benchmark will be, but I bet you. I'm sorry, user in Discord. I won't name people, but I don't think you're going to get 50%.
No. We're naming and shaming.
God, I'll let you name and shame then.
I have to just find it now because it was a while ago, wasn't it? It was
no. If you go into the MFL Discord, it's one of the most recent messages.
Ohio
you scroll
team.
up a little bit.
Was it? Yeah, Ohio team. Yeah, delusional.
Only in Ohio.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Don't know what they drink over there, but
50% at Spark and Flint. I'll offer 49%.
I mean, I offered Trust to run his Edinburgh team for a 100-0 split. Like, he takes all of it. I just want the location. And he was like, yeah, that seems fair. And I was like, yep, easy enough. Like 2%, like what's like I don't like. There's no point asking for revenue share at the lower divisions. Like 10% of Spark, you're going to get like 100. And like, so unless you're delegated like 6 or 12 clubs at the 10%, you might be able to get yourself a 54 to like a 50 to 54, which you can't use in Spark anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Exactly. You technically can give that one person all 100% as being a staff member. But obviously, it's kind of unusual because you might want to have some for players, etc. Yeah, the titles are purely cosmetic. I think the latest you can give someone permission or be part of your club staff is sort of by pre-contracts. So that's sort of Thursday before the final game week. You can edit people's permissions during the season, obviously. So if someone leaves, but you can also say, well, if someone's actually proving themselves in their own clubs, you can bump it. I would like to see some things gone.
Could you like say we did a 50-50 split, and I was signing like your club, and I'm signing players? Can I not take that from my 50%?
No, it comes from the clubs. It comes from the club's 50%.
That just means more like headache around. Like you'd almost have to be given like 50%. What players do you want, and then give it back, and then take it back again, and be like, "This is like, your correction."
Yeah. So hang on. So when you say 50-50 split,
so say
so
like
yeah.
you're
So if
giving
it's a
me
50-50 split, yeah. If it's a 50-50 split, you're taking 50% of the MFL.
Yeah, but then if I sign players
you've
for
only
rev
got
share,
the other 50% to do with rev share. Yeah.
yeah. So that's not quite. It's not like you're giving me the club and then I'm signing players, but I'm taking the MFL. Like it's costing me to sign improvements and stuff like that. It kind of costs you. So it's like you'd have to like work it out, being like 50-50 split, but I only get 30%, so I have 20% to then spend.
Because as a club staff, be able to contract offers, tactics, competitions, like registering for competition, things like that, branding, socials, and then contracts. So there's basically 6 different permissions you can have. You can give them whatever title you want, but that's purely aesthetic. But I'm really glad this is actually finally happening because it's been years essentially, and it felt like it was close this time last year or maybe a bit before, and then it sort of faded away because of priorities, and it's come back. It's good to see that actually getting it over the line, and I'm really excited to to see how this develops. And there should be some other exciting stuff coming later on in the week, which I won't say anything about, but it should be pretty cool. So yeah, any other bits on club staff delegation?
It'll be interesting to see if anyone uses like all 5 or 6 positions, because it could be weird to like only do tactics and then nothing else, or like I can only do the social media stuff and then nothing else. It's like I can't imagine anyone will be paying you like 5-10% to post on social media the team lost, when I can just do that, and like I could post a screenshot of the result. It might not be the fancy graphic, but
I guess it was become quite neat where you could have like 5 of you, or technically 6 of you, all. I'm assuming you can do all the same permissions. I think I read this all earlier on in the week, and I've kind of need to kind of reread it again. But yeah, you could give someone every option. Like you give 5 people tactics, and everyone could be looking at tactics. So if you trusted people, I'm saying you trust people, but it's like, oh, if one of you's away, or one of you could have technically 6 people overseeing a club, like the full entire operations of a club, which would be quite exciting. Which is why people are like, oh, when's the WenDirk one? This is what I've got to get my head around now, is if I give it 1 or do I give it 5 people? And I'm not sure if I'd give it all 5, but I think that, I'd like to test out the functionality of the feature as well, delegate it to a few people, because I think it would be nice to do, and it means more people can get involved with it, not a 1 per season sort of thing. It can go more than that. We can have 1 person sort of overseeing it, then other people getting involved. people, love looking for Dutchmen or players called Dirk. They can have that responsibility and they can feel like they're still contributing to it, but someone could be the mastermind still doing all the tactics and things like that. So,
well, like what role gives you rebranding like permissions?
there's what literally called branding.
It's just when you're giving Blades the club, like just don't tick that box, or it'll be like you'll have a new nickname.
Well,
have a new nickname, a new pitch location. It'll be the Wensum Butlers, and then,
yeah, imagine,
and I'll have a background on the picture.
Yeah, the background, and immediately be revoking his right straight away, and I have to pay out his percentages. The old, yeah. Right. Anything else on that gone?
Well, that's why you haven't announced who's running it, because it is Blades. You were just hoping for like a big surprise.
Oh, look at this! Oh, yeah. But then we're playing Ice next year.
Yeah, if you had to beat them if you had to beat Blades in the playoffs, that would have been his prize. You'd have been, well done, you're now manager of the WenDirk team.
I did like low-key fancy my chances against Blades as well in that because I wouldn't been smashed on fatigue. I think tonight the game he plays, they'll be relatively fatigued. They're playing against Finn's team, so I kind of expect him to win, but I really wanted it to, especially with him transferring ownership back for the playoff match as well. I was like, this, because if I lose, then it's like, well, you're a silver team in ninth spot, so I've got nothing to lose here apart from like dignity of not getting promoted. But if you don't get promoted via the third place, it's not like it. There's not much you can do against you because it's stacked. Yeah. The odds are against you from the start, sort of thing. Apart from in season 1 where they were kind of in your favour, but that's just because competition was so whack across the pyramid. But right, let me share my screen briefly, and we'll kind of just very briefly go into Diamond because there's still some things that are up in the air about who's coming in and rosters and things like that. But obviously, Meta won the league. That was all said and done. We had the cup final on Tuesday, so congrats to Big Will for beating Sid. Big Will didn't actually want to watch his game. He didn't want me to show it live on stream, but we showed it. He was, oh, thanks, Jimbo. I was like, we were never not going to show the Titans Cup final. It's like having we have a stream called the Cup Finals, and we don't watch the biggest one. It's like, oh, come on, lads, all come round and watch like all the games from the World Cup this summer. But we're not going to watch the World Cup final. We're just not going to watch the final. You can come round and watch the group stage and all the other ones, which is not the final. So congrats to. Go on.
Put it this way though, when the World Cup finals like Scotland versus like Ireland, are you really going to watch it as an Englishman?
No way.
Exactly. So
it's a good thing that I'll probably wake up at that point and realise that actually I was dreaming. But no, the possibility is slim, but it's not zero, Hamez.
Well, it's just I need a lot of trouble. I need the English to get in a lot of trouble in the States and then get thrown out. So that's what I'm hoping for. And anyone but England in the World Cup.
Oh well, we'll see. I'm very much looking forward to the World Cup. But yeah, it'll be an England v Scotland final. That's what we'll see. 4-0. Harry Kane shushing all the Scots as he bags 4 goals in 4 minutes.
Scotland squad's not bad. They just lack any sort of striker.
Depends if you've got Kenny McLean and Grant Hanley playing and gun and goal. That's when I get nervous. That's when I get nervous.
Exactly.
That's when I'm getting shaky. I see Kenny pick up on the halfway line. I'm like, oh, hang on, could score it.
It's pretty bad when Scotland's best goalkeeper is 43 years old and he's not playing regularly.
Craig Gordon.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the best Scotland goalie by a mile.
And then your second best keeper is like 4th choice at Forest. Or whatever, and he doesn't play.
But then you look at Scotland's midfield, and you've got like the Aston Villa captain, the Napoli like golden boy, and the Bologna captain that won the cup for like the first time in like their history. And you're like, we've got a stacked midfield, like Tierney at the back,
loads of left backs.
Tierney at the back, Hickey at the back, and then up front it's just like Shanklin's all right, but the manager doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Che Adams is doing all right, but we like playing guys that have scored like 2 goals in the championship over 2 seasons, and you're just like
Lyndon Dykes. Is Lyndon Dykes Scottish?
Yeah, and he scored like 5 goals in 3 years, and you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like we like pain.
Yeah, it's like Harry Kane up front for Barca, Lyndon Dykes starting for Charlton. It's like different level sort of thing. But yes, so coming back to Diamond, it was all sort of to play for in the bottom half of the table, or the bottom end of the table, sorry, on match day 22. Before the match started, BFC Barcelona was 9th, La Fiera Espanola was 10th. It was a BFC derby, BFC Barcelona versus BFC Manchester. For Barcelona to stay up, they just had to not lose. Had to not lose and hoped Kev didn't win because I think because of goal difference, it would have swung it anyway. And obviously Kev won in quite convincing. Well, it's 2-1, but it felt like it was convincing. Whilst watching it, sort of thing. And BFC Barcelona, I can't remember what the score was now. It says watch replay here because apparently
4-1.
It was 4-1. Yeah. 4-1 where Manchester sort of went away with it, which kind of brings us back to what we wanted to say earlier, where you've got a team in BFC Manchester bottom already relegated. You've got BFC Barcelona who just basically need to win or not lose, essentially. It wouldn't have mattered if they drew anyway, but just BFC Barcelona need to beat BFC Manchester. I don't think this is where you say, could there have been a little bit? Wouldn't it have been nice to see a little bit of?
No, it's just like Manchester ran a 4-3-3 the entire season, so he could have like easily stayed in 4-3-3, but just had his line like as high as you can have your depth like defensively and as narrow as you can, and just almost message Taggart going, go down the line and go direct because I'm really high and really narrow. And in that way, it wouldn't be obvious because he could have his like main guys playing, but he's just giving him an insight on how his tactics are playing. Because I just wanted to see what would have happened, because if the issue Taggart had though was if he won, there would always be speculation on
100%.
Like regardless on if it was a 1-0 dodgy win, a 6-0 win, there would always just be the has he let him win? Because like I could play you and without telling you or without doing anything, I can fiddle my tactics to make it really like my front four just don't shoot. And my back five just always shoot.
And I think what makes it, kind of more interesting in that sense is that it's not, BFC Manchester is safe from relegation. It's, well, if they beat Barcelona, both clubs are going down. One's already confirmed, but they both go down. So it's like the worst case scenario. And then it makes it a bit awkward in platinum because I think they now have 3 platinums. Do they have 3 platinum sides or 2 platinum sides? Something like that. I think it's 3 platinum sides maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how do you then do that?
Yeah.
And obviously because of each manager like myself and others owning it, there's no sort of like club, there's no conflict of interest and stuff like that. So yeah, a funny point I wanted to make was, you said about, what if it happened and all speculation and, would we see a points deduction and an IMFF getting involved? And I wanted to make the joke of, well, it's the top division, isn't it? So it's a bit like Man City. We'll have to wait like 5-6 seasons for a decision to be made. And someone down in like Flint who spent like $2,000 to get promoted and done all this dodgy stuff and paying money to people will get a minus 30-point deduction the next season. The snap of their fingers. Could we see a bit of a slower investigation in the upper divisions, like the charges that the Man City are facing?
Yeah, maybe, but not with relegation. You wouldn't be able to do it because obviously then it affects who comes up, it affects who goes down, and like sort of transfers. It would have to have been
transfer embargo, just ban them from transfers.
But I mean, like if Kev had gone down, like that team next season won't be as strong as they were this season. So it's like, I know Kev doesn't spend buy the players, but like what players did then they go for? Do they go for diamond level or do they go for like solid platinum level? And it would sort of affect their outgoings more than anything. But yeah, I just wanted sort of what do they do? Do they not? Would it be the first game where they null the result and both teams go down, or would it be like a stern talking to of don't do it again, but we'll let you off?
Do you think if it was to have happened, it would have been a stern telling off? Do you think they would have announced that had a stern telling off?
Depending on how, if he had have played like 11 or 10 players, like he's centre back up front, he's striker in defence, and it's like 30 rated, you could almost have seen, but like just know the result, 0 points, match played, because it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But like if it was just Taggart 1-2-1, and you had speculations, and it's almost impossible to prove, because you could say, have you had did Manchester give any contact to Barcelona, and you can say no, and like a personal phone call isn't going to be on Discord. They're not going to ask for phone records.
Can we add in your phone, please?
Yeah, can I see your phone bill? Did you phone this person and say?
Or tap into Discord and see, like, oh, did you DM this person?
Because it could be so much. Because it could just be, did Taggart tell you to tell like Manchester this to, and then like add in a third person, add in a fourth person. It's like, how big do you want the conspiracy of what happened to be? But
yeah, they were never going to do that. Knowing Taggart,
yeah,
well,
like,
would never have done anything.
It just
like
would
that.
have been. It would have more just been for the sort of what happens.
The pure oh my word, look at what's happened, and then just the pure drama and speculation that followed would have been amazing.
Yeah, because it's not one. It's like, obviously, like match fixing probably has happened in other divisions. Like, there's thousands of games, no one will watch it. This one would have been under so much scrutiny from the get go because it was an important game.
Yeah, I feel like maybe if there was a Rory and Blaze in the same league, if anyone wants to have a look at people, that's probably the club. It's probably the two users who would have a little bit of talking to with each other.
I don't have any knowledge of them doing any dodgy business.
You must be, I'm in trouble. Oh no, pending investigation between.
I plead the fifth.
So obviously our relegated teams are BFC Barcelona, MFC Napoli, BFC Manchester. Coming up from Platinum is going to be, it's going to be interesting. You got Ronan's Quito Mercedes, which he's looking to offload. You've then got Yoga Bonito London, which is really exciting to see Sturge back in there. That's going to be a genuine Diamond team. He doesn't have any other clubs in Diamond. Obviously, you've got the Diamond Playoff, which is still happening, which is Big Wolves Hamburg Harmony versus La Fiera Espanola, is the 9th versus 3rd. Dios, Los Chulas, got promoted via the 2nd v 2nd. So, yep, obviously there's already Amsterdam Lions in there. So we're just going to get this whole shenanigans of what's going to happen and so on and so forth. Maybe club delegation might make a difference, but actually it can't really, because they can't own those clubs and delegate them out in Diamond. They have to genuinely not have ownership of them, which could quite simply be, Ronan gives it to someone else to run, but gives them the players, and there's nothing involved in that. But then it's all about, well, if you have a Diamond division with, say, 3 teams which are owned by 3 other, and there's 6 teams are basically under one umbrella. You're asking for trouble, even though we know there won't be. You're just asking for something like that.
Yeah, you're asking for the possibility goes up.
Yeah.
Because look at this season. You had, in a way, you had Bob, Sid, and Kev as one, and you had the 2 BFC ones. So you did, and then Brian in a way is on his own, but it's like that could have been half the league is sort of organizations, like opening up. So,
oh my god. Yeah, sorry, no, I went onto a tab and it was bright white and it just absolutely flashbanged me. I was like, just throw back to when I was playing.
It's like, what player page were you on?
Yeah, I was on for some reason it was on the Platinum. I was trying to go to a particular user's agency, and I just got absolutely flashbanged. And this will make sense now while I'm about to go talk about this. So we're going to move on to this week's Splash of the Week, which I've got 2 here because we have to put an asterisk beside one of them, which actually got quite a funny story around it. So the Splash of the Week, including 0.01 sales, is Jean-Paul Godard, 96 rated, right winger, 27 years old, being purchased by Sid, being sold by Greninja, or Max, the owner of GTA Ontario. It's a triple position winger, so right wing, left wing, right mid. Very, very tasty. 89 pace, 99 shooting, 95 passing, 96 dribbling, 22 defending, for those that really give a fuck, and 56 physical, a bit on the whimsical side. So the value of it, you go, hang on, Jimbo, it's 0.01. This player was, with equity of packs, was traded for around about 750,000 MFL, which is a mix of Lego, rare, and uncommon packs, which is probably give or take $1,400-$1,500 in there or thereabouts. We'll do it. And actually saw that with one of the. Have you seen what Max opened in one of the Lego packs?
Have you seen two of them?
I've only seen one, but so Max has sold this 27-year-old 96 rated player, and in one of the packs he's pulled a left wing 91, 22 years old, and I'm guessing you also look at the CDM as well.
Yeah. That's it's like a 92 DM or like a 90 DM.
Yeah, it's a 92 CDM and a 91 left wing, 22 years old on the pair of them. So I think, I think Sid's over the moon with the purchase he's made, but also it's kind of worked out for both parties really, because someone's got the player they want for a value they think is really good, and the other or both think is good. And the other person off the back of those packs, which is the risk having those packs. He could have sold them, he could have opened them, he's opened them, and he's got, undoubtedly some of the best players he could have pulled. Particularly, he sold a right wing, left wing, and he's brought in a left wing, right wing as a replacement. So he's got the replacement there, and he's going to be at least, he's got at least 15 seasons on him, 13 seasons on him or so, and progression. So yeah, that's a hell of a player. But actually, that has an asterisk next to it because it's a 0.01. If we're going by the actual sales spot, Emiliano Guerrero, $550, 90 rated right wing, left wing. Are we seeing people, gravitating towards these wingers? They have been for many seasons, but is this the big push? 24 years old, right wing, left wing, 90 rated, 80 pace, 91 shooting, 88 passing, 93 dribbling, 27 defending, and also a bit flimsy on the physical, 47 physical, being sold by Maydin. Might be some characters in there that haven't come quite from Discord. Being bought by Dio. And Dio's usually a smooth operator when it comes to purchases. So usually, if you're wondering, umming and ahhing whether you've got a progression beast or a good player, and suddenly you see Dio in your offers, chances are you've got yourself a player. A good player in there, either one that's good rated and very valuable and worth having, or someone who's looking like he's going to progress well, because Dio sniffs him out like insert something I'm not going to repeat on the pod. But yes, we've had a genuine splash of the week, and then we've had a pack splash of the week. What's your thoughts on using pack equity as a means to acquire players within the game?
If you can do it at that amount, why not? Like, that's the equivalent of dropping $1,500 on a player. Quite like, if you've got the in-game currency to do it, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do with like Big Will's $3 million. Like, I have no idea of what I think I'd more just sit and look at the number more than anything else.
I think the funny thing with the Big Will bit as well is, I owed $3 million this year on a down season. On a down season, and you still get involved in the duck races. Farce.
Well, the rich get richer.
Yeah, I know. The rich get richer. Maybe we'll have to nerf Big Will. We can only have one win a season. He can only win 600 MFL once a season, and after that, he has to wait till the next season. We've got to
Or he can only win if he deposits a prize.
Yeah, exactly. Big Will, but if you want to do a 90 to 94 rated Lego pack for this week's pack drop, feel free to hit me up, and I'm sure I will happily accept such donation. Or if it's just a lower band or a regular band, that's fair enough. But also a rare pack for commission for getting the deal over the line would be greatly appreciated from my agency as well. Thank you very much. But before we get into the sort of like the looking back on season 11, looking forward to season 12, we've got a couple of sort of a question or two here from last week's video. So a big thank you to all of you tuned in to the sustainability sort of topic with Laird last week. It was an absolute blast to record with Mr. Andrew Laird, but also just it's a topic which you could talk about for ages. And no one's particular opinion on sustainability is right or wrong or the correct or incorrect way of looking at it. And everyone has a different view on what sustainability actually means, whether it's never using the marketplace again, never depositing again, only paying off rewards, that sort of thing. So like, you know, some people here saying, Mike, saying the problem with MFL is you don't try and make a profit. How do you know if you're any good? Like, you know, how do you know if you're good at MFL? Is it positions in the leagues? Is it sustainability, profitability? You don't really know. Man United Toby, I think trying to play sustainable, at least in the way I see it, makes it so you handle engine changes better than someone thinking more short term. Yeah, you know, it's a different way of looking at it, but I think it's not wrong if you can handle those engine changes. Which, did anyone predict increase in cards for season 11? That wasn't on the bingo list.
Big increase in cards for season 11.
So someone did ask here, because it obviously ran the question, led asking it, is Meta Mercenaries good for MFL? Which I think was a cracking question. They've asked, are farm clubs good for the game? Because his whole bit was clubs clearly can't be sustainable. Not looked at top division, but I can't imagine it's different. This is Tom Brimson. Clubs clearly can't be sustainable without other people's charity outside of Spark. Maybe ISA a push. Agencies can be. The higher you compete, the more farm teams you need. So in a similar question to is Meta good for the game? Are farm clubs good for the game? I ask this as someone who has farm clubs but doesn't think it's good for the game. I think currently it's not enough of an issue to concern MFL, but it's something which could start to be an issue if people go down that route. So Genshley is getting at, because I'm not 100% sure about what his view on this is, but is it farm clubs not ruins competitive nature in particular leagues to basically fund clubs further up the pyramid? Do you think, one, that's an issue? Well, yeah, do you think it's an issue? I'll ask you that question first.
It would depend on who is the overall hierarchy of the farms, because folk like if you look at Big Will, his clearly is not an issue because he is getting several of his farm clubs. I mean, you call a gold team up gold and platinum farm clubs, even trusts. Every single one of the games his teams play, his team's fully rotated, his team's got fitness, his team's got any suspension is covered. Whereas with it, not name name dropping, if you have a scrub team in your league, lower down the division, you want to play them as close to mid-season and as close to the middle of the second half of the season, because he doesn't some of his teams just start forfeiting because he doesn't make changes. So it's on that side it's not great because the league is so lopsided in terms of who gets a 7-0 win, who gets a 10-0 win, who gets beat if you play him at the start of the season. Where so that they're not great if they start forfeiting. We had one, I had one this season in silver with
really
it was me, Rory, and Risu were in the same division.
Yeah.
And we had scrub. And the first two games of the season, he didn't have a squad, so he forfeited 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah.
The third game of the season, 2 hours before the transfer window closed, he brought in 16 players. So third place, third match, played him the first game of the season pretty much, lost. I played him second, managed a win, and I think Rory got beat by him in the third. Then the second half of the season, I played him with his left back on 62 fitness, his left centre half on 70 fitness, and his left mid on 72. So I just put my 4-3-3-A to attack down the right, ran riot, won 4-0. But then when Rory played him, he had rested. It was the one game he brought in a 42 rated left back, and then his left back gained 25 fitness back from resting one game.
Yeah, one game is crazy when you're that low. It's mental.
Yeah. And then Rory drew with him, and it's Rory's been shafted playing him when he just brought in players and when he actually decided his guys were too low. And it's Rory still got promoted, so it's in the end it didn't do it.
Congrats to Rory. That's a huge result for him.
But it's even at silver, you're the first two teams got just a free 3-0 win because he had no players, and then third place just got absolutely like third match got shafted.
It does make you wonder, like, so Tom then goes on to say, like, if it is a concern, or because he thinks it's a concern, at what point do MFL step in or take action? Like, is that something they do, something they don't do? And I know something either on the Ramble, either it be the chat on Wednesday, their tactics one with Sid and Bob and Co on the Tuesday. Is it one when someone forfeits? Obviously, like you said, it basically gives those an advantage. Well, it depends how you look at it, because you get people a free win back end of the season. But if you catch them in that middle bit, like you were saying, catch them at the right point, your goal difference can smash up. And that can be the difference in quite a lot of outcomes in the end of the season. So should there be something in the game where if a team goes on to forfeit, say, more than 3 or 4 games, that all their preceding games just get like wiped and nullified? So no one has a particular advantage over each other in the league. What are your thoughts on something like that?
Well, the issue is then if you play in first game of the season and he's fully strengthed and you win 1-0, do you then get the 3? Like if you win 5-0, does your result then get reduced, even though you beat him full strength versus full strength max fitness? So it's like it leads to a lot of sort of issues of like in Spark it like doesn't really matter because like it's impossible. I find it impossible to get relegated in Spark. Like I tried season 10 to get a team down, got 1 point, and that was too good.
Yeah, you could be the worst of the worst, and that's really tough.
Yeah. And then like I had like minus like 70. I had like 40 rated players in Spark. Couldn't get it. I got a draw, and I'm like playing with like 40, 45s. Couldn't go down. So it's like in Spark, it doesn't really affect you. The higher up, like bronze, silver, gold, these like a 3-0 win, fitness back, like they're unbelievable. If you can for my castle season, I had Scrub a good time, and the team that was bottom of our silver team had like average of like 77s. It's like he was the league minimum. So I had the perfect timing of could go full strength, mash rotate, full strength, rotate, full like, and that way it just gave me like a six game span of just win, and that like no one could catch me because I had the schedule of like the perfect schedule matchup.
I think it was Big Will when he was complaining that his schedule was always absolutely like just in the bin in Diamond, where he'd get all the like the best 4 teams, first, second, third, fourth game of the season, and his last 4 were the exact same 4 repeats. It's like, come on, guys, like at least chuck these around a bit. I've got an easy middle, you know, on paper speaking, or relative terms. Then my start on my end at honking.
My Belco team had a stretch just after mid-season of it was like Andrew, who was ranked 1, into Snake, who was ranked 3, into Cup, into Bruce, who was ranked 2nd, into Cup, into whoever was 4th, whoever was 5th, and then it was like if I got into the Cup, but then it went into like 12th, 11th, 9th, 7th, and I'm like, I'm going to get battered. Win. It's like,
how do you? I had a pretty tough end to my like the 4th, 5th, 6th final games. Like 1, 2 out of the 3. Felt I was in a good position. The games that I thought I was going to win ended up losing 1-0. I'm like, what the? How does this MFL for you though, isn't it? The V word. But it's sort of end on that. Mike then says if on mass retirements, he's replying to Tom Brimson's piece about the farm club. If the question is, if on mass retirements, everyone uses their farms to subsidise their main teams, where do farm players get their players? Spark and Flint might well become very soft if they are full of farm teams that has none of their own MFL because it's used to acquire players for the parents' clubs. I think if you've got clubs that are really high up, you can probably afford. Well, I don't know. You could afford the common packs to fill it, but obviously it's like, do you then have the players in the packs to fill it, or is it just better off just buying a $1 dud who's like 20 years old, 21 years old, 36 rated, maybe had a season or 2, so he's got no progression. So he shows he's got no progression, and then you just fill that. Probably the cheaper way to do it. But it's an interesting one. I'm not really sure I feel like I have a concrete opinion on it, where the farm clubs are good for the game or not.
Well, like the sustainability way, like someone in, I think, NEP's like specific, like So Rare, but also like MFL Discord was mentioning, like the bit, like, could you not like try and sell like $2 packs, like the most like Mission Impossible, try and sell like a good amount of $2 packs, and then buy $1 like 65s that aren't retiring, so like they could be 32 but they don't have the badge. Run a squad of them for 3 seasons, sell like whatever MFL you can, buy again, and just rinse and repeat every 4 seasons. Because if you can sell what, six $2 packs, you can get 11 like $1.65s, and then rotation options, 0% loans, just rinse and repeat those guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested by sort of like 4 or 5 seasons time, which I hate constantly, like that myself included. Like, oh, I'm really looking forward to how mass retirements get on. And it's one of those that, are we going to hype it up so much that actually the effects that we think it has on the ecosystem, like prices going up or players not being 0% loans or strength creep reversing and getting weaker, never actually happen because people are so prepared for things. I doubt it. But it's sort of like, they've announced today what the pack drop quantities are, the same as they have been since November time. I think many have said this before, both of us probably, and others on pods, that rares will probably become rare now. Do we start to see those being in high demand in 4 or 5 seasons time? I can't remember who it was. It was in the Ramble did the maths on rarities that are most likely to end up into Lego or Ultimates from Progression. Shock horror, it's a rare. So people actually want to get rares because that's how you get to a Lego. Like, you can get the Wonder gems that start from common, but you've got to, find a needle in a haystack with them in terms of packs.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what it does. We've not, since season 4, they changed the percentage distribution of rarities from packs, not from rewards, from packs. We've not seen what it's like for Legos and rares because we had that big boom in supply. So we've not seen those adjustments. We're still not going to see them for 4 or 5 seasons time because, a player who was 16 in season 1's only about to turn 28 now. And they've technically still got another 7 seasons on average. No, 9 seasons or whatever left on them, which are talking season 20, sorry.
20,
yeah.
We're looking at this time next year.
Yeah, this time next year. Yeah. And it's like, oh, brilliant. We have this conversation again at some other point. But season 16, 17 could get juicy. We're just going to keep saying that number and pushing it back and back.
Yeah, mostly. I also don't think folk realize, just as much as seasons, they're fast. Like, people say, the season comes around quick. Oh, we're now at half season, it's quick. 4 seasons time is still like 24 weeks away. It's like almost like half a year. Like, it's 6 months in real life. Like, it's not like in 3 weeks time, like, we're going to be playing a different game.
No.
Like, the now purchases are still very much like a useful thing to do, which you can see, like, the Diamond Boys are still buying 30-year-olds for 31, 32-year-olds for 4 figures. And
I'm interested to sort of the market. I'm always fascinated by the marketplace stuff and the dynamics at play there with retirements. And I just want to say that, rares are going to get rarer and their prices will go up. And then I just want to see it in the stats. Like, hopefully I'll be able to get a dashboard back up soon. I
just want give me my Commons and Limiteds back in Spark. Even season 5 when I started, I could get away with it. Like, I was speaking to Trust because I did like the Edinburgh team. We were 9th and projected. We came 9th. Don't have relegation playoffs because we got like 22 points. But I was like, my midfields, like, our league had 5 teams 67 rated, like best 16 or above, and we're in Spark. And I'm like, I'm running around with like Trust's young guys that he's got as commons that are, my midfield was 59 CDM, 52, 53 CM. And I'm like, in the league, I am just getting overrun in the midfield. But I spoke to Trust and I was like, what do you want me to do? And he went, I want the young guys to play as many games as possible. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm running these young guys in midfield, I'm running these midfields getting absolutely battered, but I'm like, I could easily swap it to the 60s and the 62 that I've got as a sub, but that's not what he wants. So I'm going to keep the boss happy.
And it's keep the boss happy. It's gonna.
But it's just it's just impossible when half the league and Spark are running full greens.
Or if you're Calvo, you're running nearly full rares.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
So I mean, if rares start coming in Spark, we've got an issue.
Yeah, which there will be until they become more demanding in the upper divisions, which at this point you don't need either. The price as well. It's a bit of both. So right, let's look a little bit about what did we learn in season 11, looking ahead to season 12, all that sort of piece. So I'm going to ask you a question, Hamez, which is also going to be this week's hashtag of the week. So my question for you, Hamez, and then I'm going to say the hashtag afterwards. My question for you, I want you to tell me your season 11 in one sentence. And so the hashtag is hashtag season 11 in one sentence. You can either put that, what I really want you to do is put your season 11 in one sentence as a hashtag. That sounds complicated in my head, but hopefully it's not as it comes across. So some of you might, put hashtag, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, as your hashtag. But Hamez, your season 11 in one sentence, go.
A very, very turbulent flight. There you go.
A very turbulent flight. And the takeoff was a turbulent bit. Like whereabouts we're talking in the flight was a turbulence.
We got off the ground, and then we started jiggling around.
second gears went in. It was like
but the landing went okay. Like we made it.
That's the main thing. All the landing sticks, you're good. I think for me, I'll probably say, as expected, but with a little surprise. So the Worms getting promoted, that's a little surprise. Didn't expect it. But the Wyverns, I wanted to get into silver, but I knew from just looking at things like projections and just knowing how stupid that Bronze League is, playoffs probably going to be like where I'll be there or thereabouts. It's probably the closest I've been to actually getting further out. I think I've got playoffs once before and I've then sort of knocked out in the first stage, but it was as expected. Like I just expect myself to stay in bronze every season now. Obviously I want to get out, but I'm like, one side of me, the good side or the bad side. I can't really like that. I'm not the Jedi side or the Sith side is like, Jedi side says just change formation and then like just play the game in a formation that suits how the engine sort of benefits the engine and stuff. Not a meta, but kind of there. The Sith side to me just says stick with 3-5-2-B. Just be arrogant and stick with it because I love the formation. I've wedded 3-5-2-B, and unfortunately, I think it will be a bit too financially devastating to divorce 3-5-2-B, but obviously it's one of those I might have to put my funds into a trust somehow, the process, to not be impacted by the divorce when if it was to kick in.
I think your issue is the 4-3-3s are so popular.
Exactly. It's like the one formation that fucks me is the most common one.
Like the defensive, the attacking, the flat. The only one that's not really that great to me is the false nine because you lose. Like I don't think the center forward is as good as a cam, and then you're like, but then you're also missing sort of like the gunman up front.
I've done better with. So the attacking and defense I struggle with, but the flat I think I can perform okay with. But I mean, it's a 4-3-3. I usually just I got to stop saying this dad joke, man. I got to stop saying it. People told me to stop saying it. Everything's 50-50 really in life. Either win the game or I lose. Well, either win it or I don't. That's how the game works. Do you have any sort of biggest lessons, regrets, anything like that in season 11? Things you wish you'd done differently to maybe avoid a turbulent flight?
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to. Like, I don't think so, because like squads were built pretty well. I mean, I won the silver, so I mean, I don't have a like. I didn't know how they would perform, but they performed well. Like, but I think it's more just having watched all the diamond games the last 2 seasons. As like Bob was saying in the Ramble one, the stats about these changes that they wanted might be slightly over their range, but the Diamond League, there's only 12 teams. So if you go, we want a 20% increase in cards in general. If the Diamond League could have, I mean, those are, I think I noted down, I think there was a 63% increase in reds.
Cool.
Which overall in their entire thing, like they said, reds went up just like a little bit more than they wanted. But that's because in Spark, folk, if they get forfeits, aren't getting reds. If folk are getting low, there won't be as many reds lower down. But
Well,
in
they're
the
getting
higher
smashed
divisions,
12-0. You're not going to get reds in those games as much.
Yeah.
Like maybe.
And then in the top, and I think in Diamond there was the same amount of yellow cards in the Diamond season as match day 16 this year. So like you're talking like 6 games worth of yellow cards more, like, so yeah, it's when you take such a small portion, the increase, like the range is a lot more. Yeah, so like a 62% on reds and a 33% on yellows.
That's crazy.
Comes out a lot higher than what they were wanting, but what they were wanting was almost met because the lower divisions bring it down.
I think one of the biggest things we learned as well is that now more than ever, there's more eyes on the engine. In terms of not just from a viewing point of view, but from like a critical analysis point of view. And I think that's because of how the start of season 11 went with regards to people's, thoughts on the engine and feedback. But also because we said this in a couple of episodes ago, and a lot of other guys did as well. This amount of content on the engine at the moment is at its peak, as high as it's ever been. So there's more eyes on the engine. There's more ears on the engine. Everything is just geared now towards like the engine. And I think it was Andrew said it. With the Yorkshire T-Boys on their live last week. It was with them. And he was like, I think they're kind of in a tricky spot where there's so many eyes on them now, where it's like they're in a, whatever changes they do to it, they're always going to have someone who critiques it. The more people play the game and get invested in the game, there's more that's at stake for those individuals. So they kind of feel like they maybe can't make massive changes, but they need to develop the engine, but can't make small ones because then they can't develop the engine. So they're kind of like...
I think it comes around with, cause power creep has just gone like this, and then at the top it's like this. The only way you can get an advantage at the top, like the top levels, is by figuring out the engine. Whereas, at the start of the season, when no one knew really what was going on apart from one guy, there's a lot more eyes on, like, how does this one work? Like, why is it going like this? In testings this, and then in matches this. Like, there's less now of like team buff, even lower down. The teams are like, most leagues are actually pretty close in terms, like there's very rarely like big jumps. Like Diamond, I think only had a 6 overall from top to bottom, which I know at that level is quite high, but so it's like, the only way you can get an advantage over someone nowadays is tactics. So it's like you're going to spend a lot more time on the engine, whereas beforehand it was, I've got the best team by miles. Like Calvo probably didn't watch any game, didn't need to look any game.
I probably watched more than him his own games.
Because low enough down, you can just stack it enough that it makes no difference.
Yeah.
But the higher you go, the more you need to know about the engine. What works, what doesn't work, what's the best way to go. Like I think like, having spoken to Bruce a little bit, I ended up with my Castle boys having like 4-3-3-A, it's like just the normal setup. The left wing, the right wing, the cam, the right centre mid, the left back, the right back on crossbar. Like literally, and then just the rest of them on balanced, for the concept of, if I get the ball in the box enough times, eventually my forward will score. So I was averaging like 35 to 40 crosses a game. because my forward who's 6'4" and has 94 shooting only needs to take 1 or 2 of the 30 crosses. Yeah. So it's just by mass rather than, it's not tactical genius. It's just the insight of eventually something will work. And it's like, probably not how folk want to play, but like my stats are horrendous.
So I think we could, so from like, if we say like the winners and the losers of season 11, you could argue that some of the more tactically minded people would say, it's hard to say not even the winners, because you could be still like tactically a lord, a master at tactics, but actually if things got thrown a curveball, you may just be one of the ones to quickly identify trends in the engine and make changes based on that.
Because you look at, like, Rory gets renowned as quite heavy testing for blades and stuff, and their first half of
not for himself, for blades.
Yeah, like, you know, like, but like he gets like quite the good tactician sort of branding.
Yeah.
And his first half of the season, he really struggled, and I think he ended up bidding off the 4-2-4, which they've ran like religiously for years. Yeah, and it's like, if he can't get a formation to work in an engine that's supposed to have any formation can work against anything, and like, yeah, like, obviously my time zone slightly different to the UK. I'm sitting in my afternoon, and then all of a sudden at the top it's like Phoenix Park Rangers, like, or wherever Rory's team name is just playing friendly every day, and he's like trying to figure stuff out, and he just he couldn't figure out 4-2-4 and had to bin it off. And it's like, obviously he was flexible enough that he can play 4-3-3s and ended up getting promoted. But there's other ones that, yeah, that are more tactic focused that could be rigid, and they struggled because the engine had no sort of consistency in sort of game to game results. So
right, I'm going to ask you a question here, which you're going to have to basically ignore the fact that I'm 352B bias. Are the 4-3-3s too strong in the game?
Maybe potentially too strong, but it's hard to tell. Like, too common, maybe. Like, is it almost like in like FIFA, people go to 4-3-3. Like in FIFA, they see what's going well and they use it. But the 4-3-3s, in terms of just needing a left back, a right back, 2 centre halves, centre mids, a cam, left wing, right wing, and a striker. There's not any sort of, like, if you get a left wing, there's chances are he can play right wing. If you get like a centre mid, he might play cam. Like, so it's a lot easier to just interchange. But I mean, potentially, but like most of the best players are like suited for a 4-3-3. You don't get really 99 rated, like, or really high rated left mid, right mids.
Yeah, because they've got poxy pace or something like that.
Yeah,
it just makes them, you know.
Whereas the wingers are fast, they can dribble, and some can shoot. The strikers are fast, some can dribble, they all can shoot. The cams don't need much pace, but can pass. The top guys can pass, they can dribble, and some can shoot.
Yeah.
So it's just like the stats very much favor a 4-3-3.
Yeah. I think it was Taggart seasons ago when he comes on, you know, even on air or off air, has been like, he's been quoted saying, you know, I think it's one of the easier formations to just get the hang of and feel like you can learn the engine and perform well with it. And if you feel like there's a formation which you feel like you've got an advantage of, you're going to run it. It's one of those, like, it's, you know, the saying where they say it's, you know, hard to learn, easy to master, or something like that. It's like, it's 4-3-3s, easy to learn but hard to master. You know, that sort of dynamic we're trying to get at here.
Yeah.
But like, that's why I had to preface it by saying ignore the fact that I'm a 352B user, because obviously it comes across as quite a salty individual, which may be a hint of that in my question.
I think the 352 could do well if in a couple of seasons you get more detailed on what you can specifically do. Because at the moment, your left centre half will basically be one-on-one with the right wing.
Yeah.
Your right back. Yeah. And yeah, the wingers are going to be fast, most of the time faster than your like defenders probably better at dribbling than they are defending. So right away, you're looking at constant 1v1s. And if they get past that 1v1 with the flip flap or the 2 flip flaps or the 3 flip flaps, it's a 1v1 on the goalie. So it's like, and then like you don't get much control over the DMs on where they can move. Like you don't have, can your left DM go over, push more over to the left centre back to double up? Can the right one stay more central because your right back's, or your right centre half's better than your left centre half? So it's all sort of, you need a lot more instructions on what you can and can't do.
I think I mentioned it on a stream with them when I was on with Amrezy last week about what I used to play in FIFA, which was a 5-2-3 or a 5-2-1-2. If they brought the 5-2-1-2, I would probably rock it because it's just effectively a more defensive 3-5-2-B. Because the one thing, you've got two, you can have, two strikers, but a lot of the time, I'm looking at the 5-back formations, 5-3-2, which is is it a centre mid? It's a centre mid, and then a left mid, right mid, and it's like, what? Why is that not like 2 centre mids and a CDM or 3 centre mids? But if I can play, so I think I've played against Calver before, and he's rocked a 3-5-2-B at times, and he's had a left wing back who he's just chucked like left mid instead, because it's and he drops sort of to like an 83 or an 82. He drops quite a few overall, but actually when you look at his stats, you go, not bad at left mid. And the thing you lack is maybe the physical, which in the season with red cards, or it's the defensive stats, and that's what that left wing back provides to you. But then again, can I go against what I've been saying for nearly 3 years, and that 5 backs are frauds? If they brought a 5-2-1-2, I'd rock it for a season, see what it's like. I would. But what I'm saying by that is 5 at the back, two CDMs, a cam, and 2 strikers. I'd rock it.
I mean, it's like the cock formation, because you've got like the base and then But I would be using the 4-2-3-1 if the 3 or the 2 then the 1 were 2 cams then a striker. The centre forward naffs, like there's no one really uses that, because who has 2 centre forwards in their team? Who has 1 centre forward in their team more than who? It's like if that was cams.
The person I know who uses the centre forwards the most is Work the Space. I think he got another centre forward in like a Lego pack this off season. He's buzzing about it. I'm like, you're the only person I know who loves centre forwards. Everyone gets centre forward and goes, they're just like you said, a bit of a whack player. And they've also got some of the honkier stat distributions for a card as well.
Well, it's just you again, like left wing backs in a way, but left wing backs most of the time play left back or whatever. A centre forward, you are restricted to like 3 formations or like 3 or 4 formations. There's no flexibility. Like a striker, you can run in everything. A cam, you can run in almost everything. A centre forward, you don't have the option of. You're quite predictable. Which, just. And also, what do they do? They're not a cam. They're not a striker. Like they're kind of just in this like space of just you're a body on the pitch, kind of do something.
I don't think I think if I had one, I've always quick sold it, but like a bit like wing backs. But yeah, let's then look a little bit into season 12 and what maybe we might expect from it. The keeping the trend of 4-3-3, or just 4-3-3s minus the false 9. Do we expect that? I won't call it a meta. I don't like to call it that. This continuation of 4-3-3 into season 12. I think we're nodding in agreement.
Yeah, I don't see that going away unless they came out and like with a dev notes or patch updates going like we are severely like altering how 4-3-3s play because we have realized something is like wrong with it. I don't see it changing.
But do you
anytime soon?
Part of me. Do you think that would have already happened if it was too strong? Because they do balance. So actually, no, I need to include this. So we always joke on the pod, what does rebalancing actually mean? Like, what does rebalancing mean? We finally got an answer. Lucas put, well, I've actually managed to just reread the bit about why I wasn't given my MFL for the bugs. But when the engine guys say rebalance, it means that they're making sure that there is no clear meta, basically, because making certain changes to the players' behaviors or introducing new mechanics, why did I say that so weird? Or introducing new mechanics can sometimes favor a style of play or formation, things like that. So rebalancing basically means we're trying to prevent 4-3-3 from becoming so strong. Is what it sounds now. What it sounds like. If it was so strong, would they have already done that? Or is every time we see a rebalance, is that them just tweaking the 4-3-3s? You know, is that conspiracies?
Yeah,
Where's my tinfoil? Where's my tinfoil? Where is it?
That's why I said on I think when I was on with the Yorkshire boys was, when they make a change, it would be really nice just to have, we are making this change because, tell me what you're rebalancing. Because it would, especially now, every time a season finishes, I think it'd be quite interesting if they went we're rebalancing this to this on the new season because this was what was wrong. What did I not spot in the engine that you can see in the back end? Give me all the data you have, because you're not going to need the data for season 10 anymore, because just that way, then you would be able to sort of go this is our data. Any complaints you have, this is what the data says. Your complaint is just a unique situation, or your complaint was justified, because then it shuts people up. Because last season you could have complained that the cutbacks were overpowered. They could have come out and said, in fact, cutbacks were slightly stronger but not overpowered, because this is the data we have in the back end of 40,000 matches.
Yeah.
And it's like a big middle finger to everyone that goes, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong. If they sometimes clap back in the sort of the bugs or whatever they say, or the issues, they sometimes clap, which is quite funny. But if they could if they just went, no, you're wrong, this is why, it shuts up all complaints, all everything.
It's I mean the first thing I like to look at, well, the two things is 4-3-3 the way to go. It's clearly the most commonly ran formation. Saying that, I have no data to back that up, but I look at MFL Coach and you just look at the amount of games on their formation matrix that involves 4-3-3s or any sort of 4-3-3s. Obviously, only matches with a maximum of 20 overall difference between the two teams are considered, so a relatively even matchup. So it's good we're seeing that. We're talking 10,000 plus matches with 4-3-3s, and the other formations are rocking 3,000-4,000. So you could say quite a lot heavier. I've just looked at last season's engine, which I'm pretty sure was 14.0.3 / sounds like a sort of a go to website and type any details to win a prize / 8.1.3. The victory rate of compact victory rate of formations. 3 out of the 4 4-3-3 formations are in the top 4% of victory percentages. You've got 4-3-3A, 45%, 4-3-3, 44%, 3-4-3, 43%. Just a weird way of saying 4-3-3. 4-3-3 false 9, actually, with 43% as well, being fourth, but has been played 90% less. Or sorry, when it is 4-3-3A has been played 11 times more, 10 times more. Yeah. And then all the 4-3-3s, 3 of them in the top 4 formations and victory percentage, and the 4-3-3D makes up the 4 out of the top 8, which is pretty crazy. I think even if you go to defeat percentages, 1, 2, and 3 on the lowest percentages are all 4-3-3s with 35% between them. So I know percentages are small. We're talking a 45% to a 43% victory rate, but they are huge percentages when you spread them across a season and multiple seasons. It's like, not financial advice here, index funds. this fund only gains 1% more than this one each year. But yeah, extrapolate over 25 years, it's a fucking lot of money. It's like, it's a lot of money. It's a crazy amount of money across a long, big period of time. So, come back to I think 4-3-3 is too strong, mate. I think they're too strong. The data suggests it. They're too strong.
Well, we'll see this time, in 6 weeks' time, once you've done platinum, when you're sitting top, having run for the first time ever a 4-3-3, we can go, yeah, maybe there is something wrong.
If this guy,
you know, all I'm saying is, was this not the first season Hoodwink ran a 4-3-3 in his team?
With Edinburgh?
I can't remember, but he said it was. I think it was. I mean, if it was Edinburgh, that's quite funny because he said he ran 4-3-3 in a short squad for the first time. If he's gone on to win his division, that would be quite entertaining. But
was it?
If it's Edinburgh, that would just be perfect. So if
no, it wasn't. It was a 4-1-2-1-2. Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah, but yeah, like he's switched to 4-3-3 for the first time, and I'm like, he's a stubborn. He plays whatever he's been playing with big squads. He's reduced his squad, played a 4-3-3, and it's done quite well. So it's like, it'll be interesting to see if you, who is stubborn with the 3-5-2, sees success right away with the 4-3-3.
If I can pull out the bag with a 4-3-3, then that gives me a lot of motivation now to try and perform really well to like prove the point here. Yeah. That's what it's the motivation to prove the point. And then go play 3-5-2 in Diamond in season 13 and get absolutely shafted on for half a season, change back to 4-3-3, win the title, and then go right. Hang on, guys, it's all in that.
Yeah. Three at the back is not a way to go at the top.
No,
the top guys are too. The top guys are too, like, forward heavy in terms of ratings.
Yeah. Everyone's got 99 pace, 99 shooting. You know, you can get away with it, sort of bronze, iron below maybe. So we think that the 4-3-3 is going to continue. Do we? I mean, more retirements coming up. So marketplace wise, probably stays the same. Maybe see some rise in some of the upper overalls, sort of like the rares, upper rares, low rares. Whilst speaking of rare players, SR Monkey David put an absolute corker out of his rare reward pack. If I quote the things that he said on that stream, we might be able to post this. I think it was 83 rated 16-year-old centre back, like 90 odd defending, 70 plus pace, physical a little low, but it'll progress.
It makes you want to open some, because I was lucky with I got like 109,000 this end of this season because silver, obviously winning silver and then winning three group games in like the Elite Cup Tier 1, like whatever one's underneath Titans. That got me like 67,000 of it, and I'm like, well, that's more than I've been earning on my own.
Yeah.
But then you watch the rest of the stream and you're watching like Kev opens one and it's like 75 rated 24-year-old like goalkeeper who's 5'8".
Reality,
Yeah, you're like, yep, okay, yep. No, let's not do that.
Yeah, adverts for both why you shouldn't open packs, basically. I opened 2 uncommon packs. I was in debt to the WenDirkCast were in debt to me for some of the packs, so I have to sort of like buy packs, buy them off myself, and then do that. That's basically how I think I've like the 45 MFL I earned, I basically redeemed 20,000 of it myself, and the rest had to go like buy the packs and things like that. But the 2 packs I got, 72 rated CDM, 24 years old, and a 72 goalkeeper, 23 years old. So I was like, hang on, above, they're in the upper band.
How big is he?
Well, it depends. When I look at it like this, it's 5'11", but if I squint, I see 6'11". So it depends. It depends on what his performance is, match to match. Depends what his match performance rating is.
Because I was speaking to Sid, this is the first time where I've found goalkeeper height to be more effective than not, and he said he's found the same. Like the Rambo Amigos really struggled with like their short kick and goal, swapped it to like a bigger goalie, and then they've seen a lot better success. So it could be a placebo of like meaning nothing, but it's on the card. It's got to it's one of the only things on a goalkeeper card. It's got to mean something.
Yeah.
Like, or else, why is it there?
Are you making any agency changes, anything like that? Big purchases coming into season 12, or is it just same again? We
It'll
go again
be.
season
I
12.
think it. Well, I let go of my the right back I had loaned on loan on Izumi. I bought him for 20, sold him for
So I had what
Zumi.
Blaze. He calls him what, like zoo turd or something like that. That's what, when he
But
spells it
bought him
right.
for bought him for 20, sold him for 80 2 seasons later. That's going to allow like a big goalkeeper to come in for Belko, because they're an iron, and this season they ran like an 82 left back, 82 centre back, 82 centre back, 81 right back, 77 goalkeeper, and I'm like, my defense is strong, but then I've got like probably a stone goalkeeper in goal, and I'm like, so like if I can get an 82, 83 quite tall goalkeeper in, that'll be a big boost. And then I've got 100k MFL to maybe sell off to bring in a cam, or like see how retirement goes. If I go well, then maybe not. If retirement.
What some people, I know Zutert's saved from last season and he's got some this season. I'm not sure what he's doing with it, but I feel like maybe waiting to rollover day is a wise strategy to see if you actually need to utilize it or not. If you don't need to, probably the best case scenario is you don't need, you get no retirements, or you get retirements that don't impact your agency in the short term in terms of your upper clubs, and then you get to not sell them, not open them, not do anything. You can save it, and then for when you need it, you can dive into it like an emergency fund. Cool, we're getting really into the NFA, the non-financial advice, an emergency fund.
I think I would rather get little drops every season in the main team, rather than if I get none this season, then next season I could get like 3 or 4. If I don't get any next season, I could get 5 or 6.
Kicking the can down the road sort of vibes.
Keep giving me 1 or 2. Like this season I had a right wing that can play right wing striker, left wing.
Yeah.
So I went out this season and I've already bought a replacement, like a main guy, and this guy becomes rotation. So it just keeps almost just churning. Rewards I earn, sell them off, buy a cover for what I need. The lower teams, Spark and Ice, are pretty easy to get loans at the moment. Like you can get cheap loans from folk pretty easy, so you get no point worrying about that.
If it's from other people, or it's even from just the loan market, if you're there checking enough, 0%'s come up, 1 or 2%'s come up, which if you own quite a bit of the player, if you own a lot of the players, if someone chucks up like a rotation piece, 1 or 2% in Spark, like I don't want to give away the percentage, but it's literally it's a negligible amount, so you just
because we're like Hoodwink and Laird are quite, they want to keep it all. Like they want 0%.
Hoodwink, open your wallet, fella.
they want 0% on their team. Like I know he won bronze with it. This, but I don't care. I would rather be competitive. If I end up giving away half of what I get, it could be the difference of if I finish second giving away half, or I finish bottom and get relegated. Yeah, I might earn the same, but next season I'm in the same division, not being relegated. Or also everyone enjoys winning. I'd rather be competitive than ass. Rather be.
I think on that's quite a nice transition to Laird's question. Who's ass? Yeah, who's got the rear of the year for 2025 in MFL?
Well, I mean, you just said Laird, so that's your submission.
No, I didn't. So no, just because you beat him all the time, that's what you're trying to put it on me. Laird's question was, why do you keep playing MFL? Not to you. Not saying James, why do you keep playing MFL? But it's, why do you keep playing MFL? What makes you keep playing?
I think the sociable side of it's quite nice. Like obviously, like speaking with folk from all over the place, it was quite useful. Enjoy it. I mean, selfishly to begin with, it was because I moved 18,000 kilometers away from where I've been staying, the PS5, and that had to be left behind. So I didn't have a sort of being grown up through video games to then all of a sudden not having any. It was like last year I played Sawyer more than I had done because it kept me getting involved in something to fill my time.
Yeah.
This year, MFL's kind of filled up more and more and more throughout the year.
Yeah.
So like that, from a selfish point of view, it's probably starting with no console, but now it's like the social side of it's really good. Having podcasts, like being on podcasts, listening to podcasts, the streams, like they're all at quite good times because of mornings. But yeah, so it's also really enjoyable because I get to run a 4-3-3 and punch folk in the face.
The opposite to my formation experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, we plan all the content creators, but we'll plan our days for pods. You see, because then we can spread out across the week for you, not all lump on it on one day. Do the
Well,
Monday,
I mean,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesdays still or my Wednesday's still horrendous because it's like Amreezy normally does Tuesday, like Wednesday mornings, followed by Yorkshire Tea premiere on a Wednesday, followed by a ramble on a Wednesday.
For you, yeah. You're thinking of your zone.
If we could all just like spread it out a bit, but and then I've started like it's quite nice because whoever does the longest pod of the week, I use that as my cardio session if I go to the gym. So it's like Andrew's one with the Yorkshire Tea Boys was like a 1.5 km swim with
just 1.5 run. It definitely wasn't.
a 1.5 km swim followed by however long left of a cycle. So it could be like a 20k cycle or
right. Hang on, bear with a 1.5 km swim.
It takes a while.
No, but hang on. How you list? Am I being dumb here? How are you swimming with headphones?
Oh no, I don't listen to the like. I time it, so say it's a 2.5 hour podcast.
Oh, I was like, hang on, has this guy got waterproof headphones just swimming in a pool, listening to it?
I've just got a private pool, so I just have the
massive
podcast loudspeaker,
just bang or big projector with it on.
I just go to the gym and go, do you mind putting this on instead of music for the next hour?
And you sort of when you're out of breath, you're there with your arms across the side of the pool, just watching up at the big screen, watching the boys up on the top.
Yeah, I've got big root on the big screen.
Yeah. Why can't I get the screen share to work or sort of something like that? No, I joke. You did a great job with
it. So it's like that's quite nice because this just keeps me sort of distracted because cycling on the spot for 2.5 hours gets sort of a bit boring, but I tried it with the fellas, like the Cal Freeze's one, like because grew up with them. But I tried it during the gym, and I was like speaking to like one of the guys I go with, I went, "See, trying to do a bench press, and then all of a second, like you're on the way down, and then like Chip is talking about wanking in a sock."
Yeah.
Nah, I've lost all sort of seriousness. I've tried to I've burst out laughing, and it's like now I need to reset and go again.
Yeah.
It's like.
Ask someone to come spot you whilst the Cal Freezy the horse starts laughing, and have all
and they're talking about gooning over strip FIFA when they're like 16, and I'm like, this really does not. This is not what I need when
just
I'm pressing here.
Yeah, I decided to go for 1 rep max a day, and I'm like, nope, we are not pushing that. We're not shifting that.
Yeah, so it's like at least with like the MFL stuff, I'm interested in it, and you are talking about like on topic, whereas. Yeah.
Good gym.
You don't ask your guests.
Listen.
You don't get like trust the process, or you don't get Laird to come on and go, so what were you gooning to when you were watching YouTube?
What are you guys gooning in the alpha seasons? Like to
I mean, it's probably what Blades would talk about if you had him on again, but
yeah. Most likely. No, I think it was a good answer to Laird's question. I think obviously he probably wants to hear mine as well, my answer to it. I think I love the social side, obviously, the community aspect, that's a given, considering, joined and then became a captain, wanted to help people learn about the game, grow in the game, find out about the game, help them out, and then started the pod and the streaming, all that sort of stuff. That's a given. And I really enjoy the competitive nature to MFL, being a player versus player, but actually so friendly as community as well. Even though we joke and give shit to each other, like, as you would. It's no different to if you're two guys watching football when it's your own two teams and one of you wins, one of you loses, you're going to give shit to each other. But the next day you forget about it, sort of thing. But I love it. You can either play it competitively, you can play it casually, you can... The some elements of the game which aren't related to the games, like the clubs and the locations, things like that. Completely love the attachment and that branding side to it. I think I love, but sort of like you can be a casual or a competitive or a casual competitive environment with a community which is outstanding is probably why I keep playing NFL
And the paycheck.
huh?
What?
The paycheck, the pay.
I'm
The
not saying anything.
cheek of it, the cheek of it, the cheek of it. How do you think you guys get so many rewards on duck races, eh?
Exactly, the paycheck.
Such a bastard, man. There's a coincidence. Yeah, I started streaming more and I moved to a house. You know that's how it goes.
The flow went down. 3 million got stolen. New house and more streams.
Yeah.
So
when the going gets tough, all I'm going to say is I'm going to just hack the blockchain again and take all your money.
Then you said you're organising like a Sydney meetup in a month, so we'll look forward to seeing you all come over.
Sorry, have I not announced the world tour yet for the WenDirkCast?
Yeah.
Just tickets are available at WenDirkCast.com.
And just have a live podcast in Sydney, Opera House.
Yeah,
rent out Sydney.
DQ.
Charles.
Lucas has now moved. Lucas has now moved back to Paris this weekend, so he won't be involved.
But he was NZ. He was a bit.
But it's true. All the distance of him coming back to England or going to Paris, right?
Yeah, but NZ's still 3 hours away from here, like on a plane. It's not like it's close.
Yeah. Fortunately, that's enough distance to me from Birmingham. You see, so.
Yeah. Then you'll do what? California. You'll get folk from there. You'll get New York, and you'll get Laird, Sid, and all that, and an in-person podcast.
And then once we go Antarctica, Reese will come down because he wants to just have something MFL related in Antarctica. Yeah. I am not going to ask you a question for our next guest because I would really like to ask this to our next guest and then get them to ask.
Are you wanting to do a live watch along to the Diamond Playoff? Because we're 20 minutes in, but we can catch it on because there has been a goal, but for who?
I don't know, Chris Cabara. Not Chris Cabara, but it's not him who says it. It's him who's saying it. But you know what I mean. Live. Yeah. Where is live? I can't even. No, I found it. There's no other games being played right now. There's a goal, but for who? It's surely Espanola. It is. They are 1-0 up. We'll make this. We'll make this the end of the. The pod here. So we'll share my screen. So we've got Kev. Kev's team are 1-0 up.
See, if they had called it like LF and then G instead of Espanola, something being with G, you could have had LFG. Like, let's fucking go as your anagram.
I always see as LFG, LFE, and I don't know why, but my brain never clocks that's that team straight away. Or that's the initials of Le Feu Espanola. I always think of. I don't know why, but the video game Faster Than Light, I think it's called, which is obviously completely different letters, but I always just because it's got the F and the L in it. But as it stands in this Diamond Playoff, we've got 1-0 to Kev.
Look at this; the stats are horrendous.
Yeah, am I looking at a 4-3-3 attack of Espanola versus 4-3-3 defense of Hamburg Harmony? Obviously, they're going to have some fatigue in there as well. Keepers on 90%. One of the centre mids on 92.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not devastating fatigue, but when you're playing against, look, we've got 97s, 92. Zarate's
but it's his last ever game, I think, is it not?
I was going to say, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Poor geezer. Poor guy.
End on a playoff game.
Yeah, exactly. So. Could he be a hero or could he be zero? So far,
scores an own goal, gets sent off.
Yeah, well, he has just scored as well. He did score the goal. Own goal, sent off. It just from looking at the stats here, 60 minutes in, we're probably going to expect a La Furia Espanola win. LFE, Leffy, like the Belgian beer. That's Leffy, isn't it? Leffy.
So Kev will have survived.
Yeah, I will survive. That's what he said. I will survive. Would love to see Kev's reaction if there was some bad behaviour at play between the Dow teams. Funny.
It is like really interesting. Yeah, but then just think in 6 weeks' time, will we be here again?
Will
by
we?
this time, Well, instead of HH, it'll be BFC. Will you be in this match? Although you have won the league.
No, I think we would have got like the relegation. No, joking, relegation playoff. No, I'm really excited to how the BFC Barcelona bit will go, because it's about like running a team up in Platt, running with those sort of players, with those sort of managers. Which obviously those are managers I've played against before, but I've not played against them against their flagship team. It's it's different gravy. Then you play against my Wyverns, I get a bit more effort into them than I do the Wents and Worms. It's night and day. Even the WenDirk team, I'd put more effort in than the Wents and Worms. That sort of thing.
Like, do you know? Like, do you know any of the players you're getting?
I know like a good. So there's like some of the ones from the DAO that I can take hold of and offer for, and then some of the people who offer prior, I'll be getting in contact with them, early this week to say like, right, can I have those players back on the team again? Can we, try and get around some other things?
But will you have a new color in your team, like a new colored card? Will you have any ultimates in it, or have you used them before?
This is Savadro making it 2-0. What? So like big new cards you were saying, like ultimates?
No. Like, will you have any ultimates, or have you not? Like, have you ever used an ultimate card before?
No, I've never used an ultimate before. No.
Yeah, so if there's an ultimate in the team, there'll be a new colored card for you.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
It's like when I'm playing with Castle and the whole team is like purple, and then Bob goes, "You need a new right back. What do you think about these two?" And it's like a 90 rated or 91 rated, and I'm like, "Bob, I have no idea. This is what I normally look at," and I send him photos of like my watch list, and it's like 64 rated, 63 rated.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit of a different league, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. Aside from the actual hindsight, it is a completely different league. Kev, Lafure, Espinola maintain their position in Diamond for next season. Congrats to you, Kev. Thoroughly deserved in your first season in Diamond, and you'll be playing again there for season 12. Right, let's wrap things up here. An hour and 51, a good cardio session for you. It might not be the longest one, so it might not be your cardio session.
So I'm doing Amrezy in 2 days' time.
You're doing Amrezy, wow.
Yeah. I'm flying to Mexico to do him.
Enjoy it. I had David early a couple of days ago. Now we've got that. But Hamez, as always, a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, no worries.
So, hope you've all enjoyed this episode. On Wednesday, we'll be doing the pack drop stream. So make sure you're there. Make sure you put the hashtag, which is hashtag season 11 in one sentence. What was your season 11 like in one sentence?
And then hope everyone's retirement day goes well.
Yes.
Apart from Hoodwink, hope you get hit hard.
And on that note, thank you all so very much for listening. We'll catch you this time next week for an episode of the WenDirkCast. Thank you for listening. Bye.